Hello, Paul here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's March 15th, 2014, and today I'm going to talk about a windmill. This is a windmill I built about 3 years ago as an experiment. My initial idea was to go along the fence and put one of these on every other post and have a wiring harness going back along the top rail and provide a meaningful amount of electricity. Now we're in a very low valley here in Tennessee. We're at about 500-foot elevation. We don't get much wind here. I basically didn't continue working on the experiment to date, but I had some very interesting results, and I want to just share these results to anyone else who wants to do something like this. What I did is I took several white oak boards, and I made I cut them on the sawmill. I let them dry about a year, and then I put them together in just a couple hours. And I went to a website called Cook Saw, where I got my sawmill, and I noticed they had these bearings, very inexpensive sealed bearings, and they were $5 each. And so for $10 and some paint, we used old barn paint. You'll see in a minute. I'll give you a close-up on it in just a minute once I'm done explaining. And we were able to make this and put it into service for about 3 years. And since then, one of the props is bent, just warped. It's got a hook in it, and it's also, the angle has changed quite a bit. We need to go up there and recut the beam and recut the block that it sits on and get it straight again. And we're probably going to be decommissioning it here pretty soon, but I wanted to share the results of the experiment because there were a lot of very pleasant surprises. And one of the pleasant surprises was how long it lasted and the fact that it keeps on spinning and keeps on working. What I found is that it would cost about $500 to have a generator hooked up to it, and then it was rather cost prohibitive. It would be about 40 years before that would pay back. And so I didn't want to keep working with it, and I stopped at that point. But if someone could make their own generator or use a motor from an old appliance as a generator, this could be a very productive and inexpensive form of electricity. So that's the idea, and I hope you find some of this useful. I'm going to take you up. I'm going to get behind the camera now and lift the camera up and show you close up on what I've built here. Okay, there it is from far away. The wingspan of that is about, I think it's about 10 feet. And I balanced it front to back and left to right just by holding it on a fulcrum and balancing it perfectly. And that's pretty easy to do. You just do it like a seesaw. You want it right in the middle, both front to back and across the propeller with the propeller off. So before you drill the hole, to mount the propeller on the axle, you want to have it perfectly balanced on a fulcrum, which is just some little edge that you balance it on, and balance it out perfectly. And I'll walk you over here, and you see how it's leaning a bit. That's unintentional, but I don't want to send anyone up there to fix it. It's just it's dangerous. If I had to do this again, I'd make it a little smaller and a little more serviceable, like put it on a post like that. But at the time we had horses in here, and I didn't want the horses getting hit by the propeller. And I love to watch this in a high wind, and we get a lot of high winds in Nashville, especially through the field here because there's no trees. This thing, it just performs beautifully. It's quite amazing, really. And so I'm going to zoom up on the parts for the technical folks that want to learn how to build this. It's a bit hard to see once I